I've long thought that Nicola Sturgeon was somewhat of a Poundland dictator, but now there appears to be some hard legal evidence to support that. The Supreme Court unanimously ruled that First Minister Nicola Sturgeon has overstepped her powers and, frankly, put her firmly back in her tartan box. On the face of it, it might not seem that significant that 5 senior judges, including Lord Reid, the court's Scottish president, unanimously found that 2 bills passed by MSPs in March were incompatible with the 1998 Scotland Act that underpins devolution. They said that 4 parts of the bill about children's rights and 2 provisions in one about local government were outside the Parliament's legislative competence because they imposed duties on UK ministers in reserved areas. All right, I know that's the kind of legal terminology that makes you just want to give up and walk into the sea. But, actually, this is massive because it could be curtains for Scottish independence. What it means is that it sets a legal precedent that Sturgeon absolutely can't call an independence referendum without Westminster's consent. It would basically be illegal if she did. It's an absolute hammer blow for Sturgeon's lifelong dream, isn't it? A solid left hook. But wait, there's more, because the knockout blow was dealt by Scottish Secretary Alistair Jack. He said he doesn't want another independence referendum for 25 years. Well, why is that then? Because that's how long he thinks it will be before it's classed as another generation. Because, of course, the independence vote was supposed to be once in a generation, wasn't it? There is also the added caveat that in order to call one, he believes that support for independence should have to consistently poll above 60%, which it absolutely isn't doing and quite possibly never will. In fact, ironically, only 38% of Scots agreed that Sturgeon should hold a referendum without Westminster's consent to begin with. So she was considering doing something that her own people didn't even want. Who'd have thought that, eh? You've got to feel for Queen Nick. She's 51 years old. She's already been First Minister for 7 years. In 25 years' time, she'll be 76, and there's no way that she'll be in power then. What does that really mean? Well, her lifelong ambition will never be realised. Everything she'd hoped and dreamed for politically, her life's work, her raison d'etre, dashed against the rocks, a political life totally unfulfilled. It won't be her name in the history books if the Scots ever vote to leave. There'll be statues to someone else. There'll be another Highland hero. And you just hate to see it, don't you? There is, of course, another element to this. The reason why we now have this legal precedent is because Sturgeon tried it on over enshrining, get this, the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child into Scots law. The Tories thought this overstepped the mark, and as it turns out, it did. So basically, they told Sturgeon that, politely, here are some minor amendments, would you mind making them? Which they're now going to have to make anyway. So what they've done is shamelessly use children at the taxpayer's expense to try to make a political point, which failed. Not exactly a resounding victory, but then again, she should probably get used to what defeat feels like.